Live from the Sports and Recreation Center on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. Tonight, after the Christmas break, the College of Staten Island will take on Manhattanville as CSI looks to bounce back from a tough loss against William Patterson right before the Christmas break. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski, to be joined soon by my broadcast partner, Dave Pizzuto, and we're getting ready to bring you non-conference action here tonight as the College of Staten Island looks to bounce back from a loss against William Patterson, a game that they fell behind early, trailed by 14 going into the second quarter, and really were never able to work their way out from that deficit. The Dolphins were led in that game by 20 points from Christina Passatoro. Passatoro played all 40 minutes in that game. In addition to finishing with 20 points, she had a double-double with 10 steals as well, in addition to picking up 4 assists in that game and 8 rebounds. So Passatoro had a good game for the Dolphins, as did Angelique Price. Price finishing in the game with 18 points for CSI in that game, and Cray and Flecker both finishing in double digits in that game with 10 points, but it wasn't enough as William Patterson was able to even their record up at 5-5. The Dolphins dropped their record to 7-3 as they picked up a non-conference loss in that game. The Dolphins are currently undefeated in conference play, 4-0 in the CUNYAC Conference, and we'll get to those conference standings here in just a couple of minutes. Dolphins coming in with a record of 7-3 overall. That loss to William Patterson ended a 5-game Dolphin winning streak that went all the way back to November 29th against John Jay College, and the Dolphins had played good, solid basketball before dropping that game to William Patterson. So they'll look to get back on track tonight against Manhattanville, and then it'll be back into conference action against Baruch and Medgar Evers, then a game against St. Joseph's of Long Island, and then 4 consecutive conference games as with the turn of the calendar into the 2017 season, the Dolphins will pick up conference play, and conference battles will become much more pronounced as we head down into the middle of February and get ready for the CUNYAC championships which all the teams in the conference are shooting for, the championship that comes with it an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. So the Dolphins will get back in action here tonight. They'll look to get back on the winning tracks, play this non-conference game here today, and then they'll take on Baruch College as the conference play will heat up. And since that segues us right into the conference, why don't we take a little bit of a look at what's been going on here in the CUNYAC Conference here in this 2016-2017 season. 3 undefeated teams currently in the conference. Dolphins at 4-0, Brooklyn and Baruch both at 3-0. They are the first 3 teams in the conference. Hunter follows with a 3-1 record, and Lehman College at 2-2. So the defending champion Lightning already with 2 conference losses here early in the 2016-2017 season. And, once we get past New Year's Day, then conference play will pick up, and for the CUNYAC Conference teams, that play will begin on January 4th as all the conference teams will get right back in action. John Jay will play CCNY, 2 of the teams struggling here early in the 2016-2017 season. Medgar Evers will play Brooklyn College, and then Baruch will play the College of Staten Island. Those games right here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. So a couple of big games on both the men's and the women's side right after New Year's next Wednesday, as the Dolphins will take on Baruch College, and Lehman will play York. So immediate conference action here as we get ready to begin this 2016 season and get ready for the 2017 calendar year. The Dolphins coming into today's game leading the conference in scoring, averaging just over 75 points a game. 3rd in the conference in scoring defense, allowing just over 62 points a game, as the Dolphins look to come out here and play against Manhattanville here tonight. The Valiants coming into today's game with a overall record this year of 4-3, and you know, they're a team that struggles a little bit offensively and doesn't allow very many points defensively, and that's a formula that has been successful here. We look at the early season record here for Manhattanville. They've played a couple of CUNY teams thus far. They opened the 2016 season against John Jay, winning that game by 18 by a final score of 52-34. And their last, or one of their last games against a CUNY opponent took place on November 27th, right after Thanksgiving, and the Valiants had no problem going on the road facing Medgar Evers and winning that game by a final score of 72-31. So the Valiants coming in playing overall record of 4-3. They won their last contest. That contest took place all the way back on December 8th, so this team has been idle for quite a while as they were able to defeat SUNY Oneonta at Purchase in the Kennedy Gym by a final score of 52-31. When you look at the Valiants, you're looking at a team, as we mentioned, allowing just under 48 points a game, scoring just under 58 points a game, so they have a point differential just over 10 points a game. They have just one player in double figures, that's Kyla McGuire. McGuire averaging 10.4 points a game and 8.1 rebounds, so she's leading the Valiants in scoring and second on the team in rebounding. Nancy Caballero coming in averaging 9 points a game, averaging just under 10 rebounds a game. And one of the things the Valiants do very well is rebound the basketball, as they've been out-rebounding their opponents by 8 rebounds a game, coming in averaging just over 49 rebounds a game and allowing just 41 rebounds a game. So we're getting ready to get underway here with the College of Staten Island facing Manhattanville. Why don't we step aside? We'll take a break here for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back to bring you the starting lineups and the start of tonight's game as you're watching women's basketball coverage exclusively right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hi, may I please have an application?
Check.
Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America in your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a key?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
but you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The #1 goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of tonight's non-conference battle between the College of Staten Island and Manhattanville College, the first of 3 nights of basketball here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, as has become, of course, a tradition here at the College of Staten Island. The 15th annual Tournament of Heroes will take place tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 5:30. A packed tournament this year. College of Staten Island welcoming Illinois Wesleyan University. The Titans coming in, a nationally ranked team and ranked 18th in the country, and looking for a lot more than that. Middlebury coming in as well. They will play in the opening game tomorrow night. That game will take place at 5:30 tomorrow evening, and the Dolphins will face Bridgewater College at 7:30. So 3 very tough teams coming in. The tournament is packed this year, and it should be exciting, and that will begin tomorrow at 5:30. All games, of course, right here for you on CSI Sportsnet. In the meantime, we're getting ready for the national anthem here, so we'll step aside, take a break here for just 1 minute. You can hear the national anthem, and then we'll get you ready for the start of tonight's game between the Dolphins and the Manhattanville Valiants right here on CSI Sportsnet. Right.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The #1 goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of tonight's game between the College of Staten Island and the Manhattanville Valiants. The Dolphins coming in with a 7-3 record, undefeated in CUNYAC Conference play with a record of 4-0. They will face a Manhattanville team coming in with a record of 4-3 and have yet to play a game in the MAC Freedom Conference. So let's get you the starting lineups here for both teams. Let's start with the Manhattanville Valiants. It'll be number 1, Ivy Coles. Number 5, Giada Donnell. Number 21, Kylia McGuire. Number 31, Brittany Dioso. And number 32, Sarah Kelly. For the College of Staten Island, it'll be number 2, Christina Pasatoro. Number 5, Nicole Mbesi. She's in the starting lineup, replacing Angelique Price. Angelique on the bench tonight in street clothes, not available to play. Number 11, Nahada Bracic. Number 14, Victoria Cray. And number 31, Samantha Flecker. So the Dolphins will come in shorthanded tonight, as we mentioned. Angelique Price not available and not in the starting lineup. And I also believe that Jackie Callie will be out of tonight's game as well for the Dolphins. So couple of injuries suffered here by the Dolphins here late in the end of this non-conference break in the schedule. It'll be interesting to see which, if any, of those players will be available to return when the conference battle heats up in earnest on January 4th against Baruch College. So as Samantha Flecker is introduced and the final Dolphin is introduced on the floor here tonight, we're just moments away from the start of tonight's game between the Dolphins and the Valiants. And the Dolphins huddling up now by their bench. The Valiants getting ready to come out on the floor here tonight. And, you know, we mentioned that the Dolphins 7-3 overall, but most importantly 4-0 in the CUNYAC Conference as the Dolphins look to try to bust out of the semifinal round in the CUNYAC tournament. They've been stuck there for the last couple of years and are looking to break out here in this 2016-2017 season. So Dolphins huddling up by head coach Tim Shanahan as the Valiants come out on the floor here tonight. The Dolphins having a bit of a layoff, I should say, in between games. Their last contest was back on December 21st against William Patterson, and then they had, it was 10 days prior to their previous game, back on December 11th against Keystone for Manhattanville. However, you got to go all the way back to December 8th, so both teams should come in well-rested and ready to go, and Wonder Way is the opening tip is controlled by the Valiants, and they'll have the first possession of the night as it's Coles with the basketball, and she'll look to set up as the Dolphins come out looking to play a 3-2 zone. Valiants working the ball up over to Kelly. Now they try to feed it inside. It's knocked away by Bracic and out of bounds, but it'll remain Valiant basketball with 14 seconds to shoot. Valiants looking to inbound the basketball as they get the ball out to Coles. Coles working the ball up over in the corner to Kelly. Kelly back to Coles. She feeds the ball nicely inside, and the layup is up and in. So McGuire lays it in, and then Flecker throws the ball away on the inbounds, but Valiants can't convert, and now it's Cray with the rebound for the Dolphins. Cray out over to Flecker. Flecker puts up the long three-pointer and buries it. Good start for Flecker. She gets her first basket of the game. She finished with 10 points in the game against William Patterson. Picks up a quick three here and gives the Dolphins a 3-2 lead. Coles with the basketball. Coles working the ball in the corner now as the Valiants break the ball back out to Coles. They bounce pass inside. It's knocked away by Pasatoro, and she's able to come away with the ball for the Dolphins. Feeding it inside to Craig. Craig's reverse layup is up, no good. A fight for the rebound, and it's Coles coming away with it for the Valiant. Coles tried to take it from coast to coast. The shot is no good, and now it's Pasatoro looking to run, getting it up over to Flecker, and her layup is up and in. No, I'm sorry, that's Bracic with her first basket of the game, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 5-2. Coles with the basketball now. Getting it up over to Dioso, and the jumper from the corner by Kelly is good. First basket of the game for Kelly. That breaks a 5-0 run for the Dolphins and makes it a 5-4 game. Passatore now backs up and will look to set up a play offensively here for the Dolphins. Working on Kelly. Passatore drives her way inside, and we have a whistle and the first foul of the afternoon. That will be on Kelly. That'll be her first, the team's first, and the Dolphins will inbound the basketball with a fresh 30-second shot clock. Pass is stolen away, and here comes Kelly. Kelly feeding it inside to Coles, and Coles lays it up and in. Valiant's able to take advantage of a Dolphin turnover and regain the lead. 6-5 is driving to the basket that time for the Dolphins is Passatore, and she'll pick up the foul. That'll be on McGuire. That will be her first, team's second. Passatore will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Dolphins. Passatore's first free throw is up and in. She came into the game shooting 86% from the line for the Dolphins. Leading the team in attempts. That was her 42nd, and she hits them both. And that gives the Dolphins a 1-point lead, 7-6. Dolphins trying to press in the backcourt, putting some good pressure on the Valiants, but it's Coles able to bring the ball up across the midcourt line. Coles lobbing the ball back, and now it'll be Dioso to set up a play. Dioso working the ball in the corner. The long jumper is up and no good. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. It will remain Valiant basketball with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Valiant's inbound the basketball as it's McGuire. Her shot is up, no good, and Flecker grabs the rebound, and here come the Dolphins looking to run. Flecker taking the ball all the way inside. She loses control and will turn the ball over. So the Valiants will inbound the basketball here. As they get able to break the Dolphin press, McGuire's layup is up, no good. A putback is up, no good. And Craig goes up among taller players and is able to grab the rebound now for the Dolphins. Flecker back up over to Passatore. Passatore puts up the long three-pointer. It's up, no good, but we're going to have a whistle. And we're going to have a foul called. And that will be on Passatore. That will be her first. And the team's first. So the Dolphins now looking to set up defensively as the Valiants look to inbound the basketball, trailing by 1, 7-6. As we're going to have a turnover here. A nice play by the Dolphins, forcing the second Valiant turnover here of the first quarter, and it will be Dolphin basketball. Craig, long inbounds, looking for Flecker. McGuire there to defend, but Flecker able to regain control, and now she'll back the ball out to Mbesi as she'll look to set up offensively for the Dolphins. Bracic out behind the three-point line, gets the ball out over to Flecker. Flecker working against McGuire, now feeds it out over to Craig. Craig driving down the lane, and our shot is up, no good, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. So that's going to be on Donnell. That's going to be her first, team's third. Victoria Cray will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Dolphins. Cray coming in shooting 68%. She's 26 of 38 on the year. Cray's first is up and in. So the Dolphins, who coming in shooting 59% from the line, have hit their first 3 here tonight. And now Cray makes it 4 in a row, and the Dolphins lead by 3, 9-6. Dolphins looking to press in the backcourt, and now it's McGuire getting the ball up over to Darnell. And we're going to have a whistle and a traveling violation called that time on Kelly. So it's going to be a turnover by the Valiants, and it will be Dolphin basketball with a 3-point lead. Cray walking the ball up across the midcourt line, gets the ball out over to Passatoro. Now it's Bracic out by the 3-point line, guarded tightly. As the Dolphins try to work the ball inside, it's going to be knocked out of bounds, but it will remain Dolphin basketball. Dolphins with 17 seconds to shoot, 5 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. Dolphins lead 9-6. Passatoro up over to Flecker. Flecker driving away inside, but her layup is up no good. And this time McGuire controls the rebound for the Valiants. Valiants looking to set up offensively now as it's Coles looking to work against Cray out behind the 3-point line. She lobs it over to Diosio. Diosio feeding the ball inside. The layup is up no good. The putback is up no good that time as Darnell went up high but couldn't finish as Cray has the ball knocked away, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Bracic, so this time the Dolphins turn the ball over, and it'll be Valiant basketball. Low-scoring affair here, 9-6 the score. Valiants look to break the press as they throw the long pass up to McGuire. McGuire drives her way inside. Her shot is up no good, but Bracic will pick up the foul for the Dolphins. So Bracic will pick up her first and the team's second. And McGuire will go to the free throw line now for the Valiants to shoot 2. She's a 76% free throw shooter, and she misses the first. One more free throw upcoming here for McGuire. Her second is up and in, so she splits the pair, and the Dolphins' lead is cut down to 2, 9-7. Cray's pass telegraphed and stolen away, and here come the Valiants. Diosio's running one-hander on the baseline is good. So the Valiants take advantage of the Dolphin turnover, and they tie the game up at 9 as Cray's shot's going to be knocked away. But it will remain Dolphin basketball with 24 to shoot. Cray looking to inbound the basketball for the Dolphins. She feeds the ball inside to Mbesi. She misses the layup, but she's collided with and fouled. As that's going to be on Brittany Diosio. Actually, that's going to be called on Darnell, and that's going to be a big foul because now Darnell has 2. As Mbesi's first free throw is up off the rim and no good. She'll have one more upcoming. That was Mbesi's first free throw of the season. She'll have one more upcoming. A second free throw is up and in, and the Dolphins regain the lead, 10-9. Dolphins looking to press in the backcourt. Valiant's able to break it and get the ball up over to Coles, and Coles' short baseline jumper is good. Ivy Coles gets her second basket of the game. She's got 4, and the Valiants now lead 11-4. Mbesi over to Bracic. She'll work the ball out to Passatoro. And the Dolphins will look to reset the offense now with 15 seconds to shoot. Passatoro. Now it's Cray. Cray out behind the 3-point line. Crossover dribble. Working her way inside. Her layup is up no good. And now the Valiants are able to come away with the basketball as they drive it to the basket. The shot is up no good. Cray grabs the rebound, and here comes the Dolphins looking to run as they get it to Bracic. Ahead of the field, she's fouled, and we're going to have a travel before the foul. So the Dolphins turn the ball over now for the 6th time here in the first quarter. Dolphins able to get the ball back, and now it's Mbesi with the basketball for CSI. Up over to Passatoro. Her long three-pointer is good. So Passatoro gets her first basket of the game. She's got 5, and the Dolphins lead by 2, 13-11. Kelly gets the ball out over to Coles. Coles looked to bounce the ball inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball. As that time, Nancy Calabrero, the freshman, got tied up, and the possession arrow will stay with the Valiants. Perone will check in for the Dolphins here for the first time tonight, and she'll replace Bracic. 3:39 remaining here in the first quarter, and the Dolphins leading by a score of 13-11. Cray will bring the ball up across the midcourt line now for the Dolphins. Cray crossover dribble. Good defense by the Valiants. They look to get the ball inside that time to Perone. A nice defensive job that time by Calabrero to prevent that from happening. 8 seconds to shoot now. It's Passatoro out by the three-point line. She feeds it out over to Cray. Cray driving away inside. Her shot is up, no good. Perone's rebound is up, no good. Cray ties up for the rebound, and this time the possession arrow will go to the Valiants. 3 minutes and 6 seconds remaining as Flecker knocks away the inbound pass, grabs the ball and lays it up and in. We're going to have a timeout taken here by Manhattanville. 15-11 the score, 2 minutes and 58 seconds. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here as the Dolphins lead this one by 4, 15-11. It's been a good, close game. Neither team getting out to much of an advantage. The Dolphins shooting 4 of 10 thus far from the field, including 2 of 3 from the three-point line for the Valiants. They're 5 of 14 from the field. That's 36%. They have yet to take a three-pointer, and they're 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Rebound totals, 8 for Manhattanville, 7 for the Dolphins. The Dolphins have turned the ball over 6 times, as have the Valiants. So it's been a pretty even first quarter here, just under 3 minutes remaining, and the Dolphins leading by 4, 15-11. Dolphins trying to trap once again as Manhattanville able to inbound the basketball. We're going to have a foul well in the backcourt, that time on the Dolphins, and that will be on Flecker. That'll be her first, team's third, so the Valiants will inbound the basketball. McGuire feeding the ball up over to Coles as Manhattanville gets the ball across the three-point line. Now they work the ball out over in the corner now to Kelly. Kelly driving across the lane. Her shot is knocked away beautifully by Perone, and here come the Dolphins 3-on-2. Passatoro has the ball stripped away nicely that time by the Valiants. It'll be knocked out of bounds as a nice play that time by Diosio to come back and knock it away. It'll remain Dolphin basketball with 25 on the shot clock. Passatoro getting the ball inside and laying it up and in. She did a nice job that time, shielding Kelly off the basketball and able to lay it up and in. As this time the Valiants try to quickly break the Dolphin press, but Passatoro steals the second pass, and here comes Passatoro. Kicking it in the corner to Flecker. Her wide open three is up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Coles is there to grab it for the Valiants, and here come the Valiants with the basketball. Diosio driving down the lane. A lot of contact, no foul called on the play. It'll be knocked out of bounds, and it will be Valiant basketball. 2 minutes, 1 second here remaining in the first half. Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game. It's 6 points, 17-11. As the shot is going to be up and in, and it will count. So that's going to break a 7-0 run there as Manhattanville able to get the ball to the basket as McGuire lays it up and in. She has 5 points here this afternoon, and that will cut the Dolphin lead down to 4. As we're going to be joined now momentarily by my broadcast partner, Dave Pizzuto. And good afternoon, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Good afternoon to you.
And Merry Christmas. And it's been a good start so far here, Dave, for the Dolphins, as they have a 3-point lead with just under 2 minutes remaining here in this first quarter.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are doing a pretty nice job of putting pressure and getting transition points the other way. So nice job by both teams so far. And, you know, it's been an entertaining first quarter. Dolphins getting another trip to the free throw line here, Mike, and with a 3-point lead.
And the Dolphins will have their 7th attempt here thus far in the first quarter. And Dolphins doing well so far, 5 of 6 from the line, just over 83%. And it's been a relatively low-scoring game, but for Manhattanville, it's been a kind of a high-scoring game. This is a valiant team that's only allowed just over 47 points a game, and you know it's tough to hold a team like the Dolphins to so few points in a game.
Yeah, Mike, especially when they're hitting on their inside and they're going inside and they're making that a point in their offense. It is hard to keep them off the scoreboard, and Manhattanville goes for another fast break point. But yeah, I mean, you just notice the law of averages, Mike. If the Dolphins are going to average about 20 points per quarter, then they're looking at around the 80 mark, and they've been very successful when they've gotten to that point.
Then, you know, for the Dolphins here tonight, Dave, we mentioned a little bit in the pregame show, coming in a little shorthanded. Angelique Price and Jackie Callie both unavailable for the Dolphins here tonight.
Yeah, that's a big hit. You know, obviously, this holiday break is a chance for teams to get better, but the Dolphins are actually down a couple of players, and you know they don't have to play again, Mike, until next week, and that's when you hope it's a conference game, obviously, against Baruch, and that's when you hope you can be at full strength yet again. But yeah, you know, the Dolphins not having basically one of their starters and their sixth person, their first person coming off the bench, that definitely is going to take a huge hit.
And we have a whistle on the play, and I'm not sure. It was some type of violation apparently on the Valiants, which will turn the ball over to the Dolphins. And a lot of turnovers here so far, Dave, in the first quarter. 7 for the Valiants and 6 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and what both teams have done well, Mike, is that they've been able to go the opposite end of the floor very quickly. A lot of fast break points, a lot of transition points, and both teams looking not to settle on bad shots, just pound it inside and look to get some easy points in transition.
And, you know, Dave, we were talking a little bit about the fact of how much time there's been between games for both teams. The Dolphins with only 2 games since December 11th, and Manhattanville has not played since December 8th. But, Dave, once you get past New Year's Day, the games start coming fast and furious, really almost 3 games a week.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you get 2, maybe 3 days rest in between games for the most part. Every CUNY school gets a kind of a bye in their schedule as well, where they can look towards. But, and I mean, you're right. Once next week's game against Baruch gets uncorked, it's pretty much every 3rd day, every 4th day, you're playing a game, and obviously when you mix in practices, it takes a toll. From here, it's about 7 or 8 more weeks until we start thinking about playoffs.
So DeMontro checks into the game for the Dolphins as they're holding a 5-point lead, as the second free throw by Flecker is up and good. Flecker with 6 points here so far tonight for the Dolphins, as Coles brings the ball up across the midcourt line, and as the jumper that time by Calabrero is up and in, and Manhattanville has shown the ability to show some offense here tonight, Dave.
Yeah, first points for Caballero. Nice short jumper there. Go ahead, Mike, sorry.
As it's Passatoro with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Passatoro looking to work one-on-one. She kicks it in the corner to Perrone. Now Mbesi with the basketball. Now it's Passatoro with 8 on the shot clock. She gets it out to Mbesi. Her jumper is up, no good. The ball tipped around, but a nice play by Nicole to grab the rebound, and the Dolphins could hold for the last shot.
Yeah, that's right. Shot clock is off here, Mike, so Dolphins can hold it.
Passatoro now angling out behind the basket, and now it's Mbesi with the basketball. A lot of contact between Mbesi and Osita. Nice feed inside to Perrone, but her layup is up, no good. And now it'll be Manhattanville with a final opportunity with 3 seconds. They work the ball in the corner, and the shot's blocked away nicely by Passatoro. So we have 1 quarter in the books. The Dolphins lead by 4, 20-16. So 1 quarter complete. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
it's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
We're back. 1 quarter in the books. The Dolphins lead by a score of 20-16. It was a back and forth first quarter, Dave. 5 lead changes, score tied twice. Dolphins come out of the quarter ahead by 4.
Yeah, you know what? Dolphins played a pretty good quarter of basketball there. Up by 4, like you mentioned, against a team that does not give up a lot of points. Scored 20 in that one. A lot of points in transition, a lot of points underneath. Got to feel good about that. And anytime you can escape the first quarter with a lead, Mike, in games where the Dolphins have had success, they've gotten off to good starts. In games where they've faltered, they've gotten off to bad starts, Mike, and this is a good one.
So Passatoro with the ball for the Dolphins as they have their first possession here in the second quarter. She drives across the lane. Her running one-hander is up, no good. Perone tries the reverse layup. That's going to be no good. And the Valiants grab the rebound, and then the Dolphins are going to commit a foul in the backcourt. And that will be their first foul. They pick up a quick foul here in the second quarter, and that'll be a foul on Perone. That'll be her second, Dave. And, she's had a habit of picking up a lot of fouls in not too many minutes.
Yeah, without a doubt. One of the weaknesses of her game, Mike, is that she hasn't been able to stay on the court very long and for extended minutes. And, Mike, you mentioned with the injuries to Price and with Takali, you'd like to think that Perone's going to get extended time. That's not going to happen if she can't stay out of foul trouble.
Yes, that time Flecker goes to the floor a little bit awkwardly for the Dolphins. She does appear to be okay. And it will be the Dolphins basketball off of the turnover here as the Dolphins lead by a score of 20-16, and Cray brings the ball up across the midcourt line here for the Dolphins. Teams even in rebounding in that first quarter, 11-11, and Dave, Dolphins usually feel pretty good about themselves if they're rebounding even with the opposing team as the Dolphins turn the ball over once again.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. Got to protect the basketball, and right now nobody's scored in the second quarter yet, but Manhattanville looking to cut into that lead and take the lead. As
we're going to have a jump ball, a nice play that time by Perone. And, one thing, Dave, that this Manhattanville Valiant team does have is a lot of size. And, they have some size out on the floor. And when they put Price out on the floor with Calabero, they have a couple of 6-footers in the lineup.
Yeah, 3 6-footers on their roster, and you got a couple of 5'10" players as well.
As the Valiants try to work their way inside, and we're going to have a whistle, and that time the Valiants will step on the line and turn the ball over, as that's going to be Courtney Osita, who stepped on the end line, and the Dolphins now with the basketball. Cray now gets the ball out over to Passatoro as Passatoro backs the ball out with 15 seconds remaining here on the shot clock. Passatoro out over to Perot. Now Flecker puts up the long three-pointer. That's up no good. A fight for the rebounders. Craig going up strong that time against Price, and we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball. And this time the possession arrow will go to the Dolphins, and Craig's been in among those taller players all night tonight, Dave.
I was going to say that's like the second or third time that she's won a jump ball because she's gotten in there late on a rebound opportunity and has gotten tangled up with the opposition. But a nice heads-up play for Victoria Cray, and it's what she does best.
So now it's Passatoro with the ball as we're inside of 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. A beautiful feed inside to Cray, but her shot is knocked away, and now it'll be Coles with the basketball for the Valiants as they try to get down the court quickly. Coles able to get the ball right to the basket and lay the ball up and in. So the Valiants with the first points here of the second quarter, and they cut the Dolphin lead down to 2. Cray with the basketball. Cray working the ball up over to Mbesi. Now it's Flecker out behind the three-point line. Over to Passatoro. We're going to have a whistle and a foul away from the ball, and that's going to be on the Valiants.
And going back to Coles' basket, Mike, that's one of the things that they've been doing really well is operating in transition and getting those fast break points the other way. That time the Dolphins, Victoria Cray missing the layup, hitting the bottom side of the backboard, and Manhattanville's able to go coast to coast.
So Flecker now with the basketball for the Dolphins. She works it out in the corner to Cray. Cray trying to drive inside now. She kicks the ball out. The wide open three-pointer by Bracic is no good, but she's able to tip the ball back to Passatoro, and now the Dolphins will get a fresh 30-second shot clock. Played just about 3 minutes here in the second quarter. Just one basket, that for the Valiants. The Dolphins still looking for their first points as Passatoro puts up the long three-pointer, and that's no good as well as the Dolphins' cold shooting here in the second quarter continues. Coles with the basketball. Coles feeding it across court now to Diosio. Diosio working the ball up over to Price. Now the outside jumper is up, no good. But inside that time to grab the rebound is Caballero, who lays it up and in.
Manhattanville's outscoring CSI in this quarter, 4-0, and now we have Flecker guilty of a turnover via the traveling violation. So now Manhattanville with a chance to take the lead as we have whistles and more substitutions spilling into the game. Jayada Darnell has come in for Manhattanville.
So the Dolphins shooting is now 5 of 19. Valiant and Passatoro as the Dolphins hold on to a 4-point lead. Cray feeding it up over to Passatoro, and this time Diosio is going to get called for the foul for the Valiants. For Brittany, that'll be her first foul and the team's fourth. Cray with the basketballs, the Dolphins with a fresh 30-second shot clock. Flecker puts up the air ball, and it'll go out of bounds. And it will be Valiant basketball. The Dolphins leading by a score of 26-22. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. Diosio with the basketball. Diosio gets the ball up over to Coles. Her long three-pointer is up, no good, but Calabrero grabs the rebound. That's no good. The rebound is grabbed that time by Price. She misses the third attempt at a putback, but we'll pick up the loose ball foul going for the rebound. And Manhattanville's been doing a decent job. They've starting to get some offensive rebounds, but really not very successful in converting them into points.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. They had tied this game up at 20 with about 6.5 minutes to go, but since then the Dolphins have gone on a 6-2 run over the last 3.5 minutes and now can extend back to a 6-point lead with a couple of free throws here.
So Passatoro's first free throw is up and in. She's now 5 of 5 from the line. First Dolphin to double digits with 10 points. And the Dolphins lead by 5, 27-22. 24 of the 27 points scored by Passatoro, Bracic, and Flecker as Passatoro hits both free throws. And the Dolphins match their biggest lead of the night, 28-22. Coles with the basketball. She brings the ball across the midcourt line. Vagicina Watson is checked into the game for the Dolphins as the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Dolphins. So it'll be Valiant basketball with 17 seconds to shoot. And it's been a low-scoring affair here in the second quarter. Both teams with just 6 points apiece. Just 2 baskets for the Dolphins, both three-pointers by Bracic.
Yeah, Mike, and we mentioned how, Dolphins scored 20 at the end of the first quarter. puts them on track to get to that almost that 80 point where they've been almost unbeatable over the last few years, but they've slowed down considerably here, only 8 points through the first 7.5 minutes of the second period, and now it's become that defensive kind of stalemate that we expected.
So Bracic picks up the foul for the Dolphins. It'll be her second. The Valiants will inbound now with a fresh 30-second shot clock, but the inbounds pass is going to be stolen away, that time by Cray, and the Dolphins will regain possession. And the Dolphins have now forced 14 Valiant turnovers here this afternoon, and you know the Valiants have struggled with the turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely, and the Dolphins have been able to take advantage of them. Let's see if they can do it on this possession.
Flecker now with the basketball for the Dolphins, gets the ball out over to Passatoro. Passatoro crossover dribble, kicks the ball out to Bracic. A long three-pointer is good.
Yeah, Mike, Nahada Bracic is going to be one of those players that when she heats up, she can really turn a game completely around. You know, you saw the Dolphins at one point were tied. Bracic hits 3 3-pointers, and what do you know? They're up by 9 points. It's no accident. It's a happy, commodity that the Dolphins have in their freshman Bracic.
Yeah, so the Dolphins fell behind 22-20, so they're in the middle of a 11-0 run to regain their biggest lead of the game, 9 points, with under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Passatoro with the basketball as the Dolphins deliberately setting up their offense here with 12 to shoot. Passatoro gets it out over to Cray. Cray working the ball up over to Passatoro. She drives her way in the lane, but a floating one-hander is no good, and Coles grabs the rebound and feeds it ahead to Kelly. Kelly drives inside. Her layup is up, no good, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on Cray.
Yeah, and I feel like that's been Manhattanville's bread and butter in this game, Mike, is being able to run the floor quickly after a miss and get some easy putbacks the other way. They've been making it look easy anyway, but they've considerably slowed down since then.
You know, and the Dolphins, Dave, went almost a little over 6 minutes without scoring a point between the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second, but they've gone on an 11-0 run before that free throw breaks it up, and they've opened the lead up to 8.
Yeah, so Kelly able to stop the bleeding, but she's only able to make 1 of 2, and the Dolphins in that 11-0 run, Mike, 3 3-pointers by Bracic and then a couple of free throws. So it's been Nahada Bracic taking over for the Dolphins.
Craig getting the ball out over to Watson, and it looked like she might have thought about that 3-pointer and then got called for the travel.
Yeah, Visaja sometimes likes to shoot that 3, but that time hesitated just a little bit, wanted to get back inside and took too many steps.
So a big minute and 21 seconds remaining here in the first half for both teams as Cole brings the ball up across the midcourt line. Coles, now it's Kelly with the basketball. Kelly working the ball out over to Diosio. That long 3-pointer is up, no good, as they fight for the rebound, and Cray comes down with the basketball for the Dolphins. Cray hounded from behind. She drives all the way to the basket. Her layup is up, no good, but she will draw the foul.
Yeah, and that's something that Cray does that very few players at this level can do, Mike. She's able to get scrappy underneath on the defensive side of the ball, take it coast to coast, draw contact, go up strong for the layup, and now she has a chance to hit 2 free throws here to extend the lead.
And that's going to be a foul on Sarah Kelly. That's going to be Kelly's 3rd, as Cray's first free throw is up and in. So that's a big 3rd foul on the senior. That will force her to the bench with just under a minute remaining, and she's been one of the better players, Dave, for the Valiants here in the first half.
Yeah, so the Dolphins get her out of the game and look to possibly take a double-digit lead into halftime as they're up now by 9.
As the ball is passed inside, Passatoro fighting for possession, but Calabrero able to come away with the basketball now. Coles with the basketball as the Valiants look to set up with 13 seconds to shoot. Diosio over to Coles. Coles working her way down the baseline. She feeds the ball inside to Calabrero, but we're going to have a whistle, and I think it might be a 3-second violation, Dave, on the play.
Yeah, I picked it up a little bit late, but it looked like that was the call. So the Dolphins now with a chance in possession, a 9-point lead. Actually, we have it as a 10-point lead, and now they have adjusted it. That's a good call. Mishak Alexander, our producer, had the right score on the arena had Dolphins only up by 9. So Dolphins now a chance to get their biggest lead, Mike, of the game on this final possession.
So Flecker with the basketball, feeding it inside to Passatoro. Passatoro shot is knocked away, and the Variants have the basketball with 7 seconds remaining in the half. Diosio looking to work against Watson. She feeds it up over to Coles. Coles' baseline jumper is up, no good. So Dolphins started out slow in that second quarter, Dave. Finish strong and go into halftime with their biggest lead of the game, 10 points.
Yeah, Mike, listen, they finished the second quarter, the final 6 minutes and 20 seconds of that quarter on a 13-1 run to end it. They turned a 2-point deficit into a 10-point lead at half, and if you're Tim Shanahan, down 1 starter and your first player coming off of the bench, down by 2 in the second quarter to get yourselves a 10-point lead at intermission, that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we're at halftime here. The College of Staten Island leading Manhattanville by 10. Why don't we step aside? We'll take a break here for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back with statistics and get you ready for the start of the second half as you're watching women's basketball coverage right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na. I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
We're back here at halftime where the College of Staten Island enjoys their biggest lead of the game. Their lead is 10 as they lead this one by a score of 33-23, and it's been a typical Manhattanville game. They've really slowed the pace down. The Dolphins playing at a slow tempo as well, but Dolphins playing effectively and going into the third quarter with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, Mike, and I think the story of tonight's game for the Dolphins anyway is that they are without Angelique Price, their third leading scorer on the team. They're without Jacqueline Calley, who's their first player off of the bench, who's averaging a healthy number of minutes, and yet still the Dolphins have a 10-point lead here at halftime, something they can definitely hang their hat on here. And they've been looking pretty good, Mike, but it's put a lot of pressure on their starters, Mike, especially the four normal starters. Nicole Mbesi has come on, but she's only scored a single point, and the CSI bench did not score in that first half, Mike. So 32 of the Dolphins, 33 points by the four regular starters, obviously, Bracic, Flecker, Passatoro, and Cray.
And Flecker and Passatoro playing all 20 minutes, Dave, in that first half for the Dolphins. Victoria Cray playing 18 of those 20 minutes. And, if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, the good news, Dave, no Dolphin with more than 2 fouls, only Bracic with 2 for the Dolphins. So no foul trouble thus far for the Dolphins here tonight.
Yeah, that's good. And on the opposite side, Mike, I think the story of the first half has got to be the Dolphins' job at the free throw line. 12 of 14. When's the last time we said the Dolphins are shooting 86% from the free throw line, Mike? And that makes a big difference because you could see it on your screen with the stats in front of you. The Dolphins aren't shooting the ball particularly well. They're shooting under 30%. They've taken 5 less shots than Manhattanville has. They've been pretty good from outside the arc, which has certainly helped them. But really, Mike, it's been those free throws. They've been getting out-rebounded as well to Manhattanville, but it's been those free throws that have really been the big difference for CSI. And, Mike, in order to hit your free throws, you have to get to the line. And the Dolphins are doing a really good job of trying to pound it inside, trying to draw contact, trying to get themselves at the free throw line. So give them credit for getting there. And then when they've gotten there, they've been able to hit their shots.
Yeah, and, both teams have turned the ball over. The Valiants have turned the ball over 15 times. The Dolphins have turned the ball over 12. But the difference, Dave, the Dolphins getting 13 points off of those 15 turnovers. Manhattanville only ending up getting 5 points off of the 12 Dolphin turnovers.
Yeah, that's a big statistic because, anybody who's scouting the Dolphins knows that that's their bread and butter, Mike. They're going to cause a lot of turnovers. They play very aggressive defense, and they're going to force turnovers. But, again, similar to the free throw line, it's not just the first thing is getting to the free throw line. The second part is hitting your free throws. So it's the same thing with turnovers. It's one thing to get them. It's another thing to make the most and maximize on those turnovers. And that's what the Dolphins are doing. They're averaging just under a point per turnover forced. And Manhattanville, only 5 points off of 12 CSI turnovers that you mentioned. So those are a lot of opportunities that Manhattanville has let fall by the wayside. And it's one of the reasons why they're down by 10 here, Mike, at the half.
And, we look on the Manhattanville side, Dave, 2 players with 3 personal fouls. That's Kelly and Darnell. And an additional 3 players with 2 fouls, McGuire, Caballero, and Osita. So Manhattanville getting themselves in a little bit of foul difficulty with some key players.
Yeah, you know what? And that's obviously one of the reasons why Darnell only played 7 minutes in that first half. Sarah Kelly was very effective. only 11 minutes in that first half. So, you know, I know if you're Manhattanville coaching staff, you're saying to yourself, okay, listen, we just got to stay on the court. And obviously, you know, they've had some minutes of very progressive play. And like you mentioned, they took the lead against CSI 22-20 in that second half. In fact, they scored the first 6 points of the second quarter. But now it's a matter of trying to scratch yourself back and give yourself, a chance in the fourth quarter to overtake the Dolphins. But it starts with a good third quarter.
And, you know, Dave, while we have a minute or so before we get ready for the start of the third quarter here tonight at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, we have to talk a little bit again about the 15th annual Tournament of Heroes game to take place here tomorrow and Friday night. And, you know, Coach Petosa likes to bring in the talent, but this year I think he's really exceeded that and really brought in a loaded tournament here in 2016.
Yeah, you could say he's outdone himself, Mike. Illinois Wesleyan, the number 18 team in the nation. Mike, they were here in 2011, won the tournament. That was the year the Dolphins went to the Sweet 16, and Illinois Wesleyan went to the Final Four that year. So it's certainly looking like Illinois Wesleyan is going to make a lot of noise this postseason as well. But they come in as the 18th ranked team in the nation. They play Middlebury, the hottest team in the tournament, if you could believe it. 4-game win streak coming in. They're on the fringes. They're right now ranked 30th in the nation, according to D3 Hoops. And then you have Bridgewater State, which is Bridgewater College, which is 5-4. They've won their last 2 games. They're rolling heading into Staten Island, and they're coached by Staten Island, former Staten Island high school star Sean Pastiglione, and Staten Island native.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. But first 20 minutes of basketball as we're underway here for the start of the third quarter is McGuire able to get the ball inside and lay it up and in, and a nice start for the Valiants.
Yeah, the Valiants have 25 points in this game, Mike. 14 of them have been inside the paint. So you got to know that's going to be a focus here in the second half. Drive down into the paint and score some baskets.
So Flecker's pass nearly stolen away, but Mbesi able to regain possession. But Bracic's pass in the corner will go out of bounds. So the Dolphins will turn the ball over to start this second half. Valiants cut the Dolphin lead down to 8, 33-25. And you know Manhattanville's going to try to come out fast here, Dave, to start the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. You're down by 10. You have 20 minutes left and 10 in this quarter. You want to be able to get this lead down to 4, maybe 5 points.
As Darnell works the ball up over to Kelly, and Kelly's jumper is good. So Manhattanville starting out hot here in the second quarter after shooting just 35% from the field in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what happened in the second quarter as well for Manhattanville. They scored the first 6 points.
Cray looking to drive the ball inside, and a layup is up and in. So Cray hits her first basket of the game. And the Dolphins get their first basket here in the second half. McGuire putting the ball on the floor. Cray knocks it away momentarily, but now it's Coles. Over to Kelly. Kelly feeds it inside to Darnell, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, so, being very deliberate about what they want to do, Mike. Once again, just feeding Darnell down low.
Yeah, and if you're in Manhattanville, Dave, you got to wonder why they're not feeding the ball inside a lot more in this second half. Mbesi is going to get called for the travel. So the Valiants with the basketball, they've already knocked 4 points off the Dolphin lead. 8:24 remaining here in the third quarter. Bracic will check out of the game quickly here for the Dolphins.
And it's Perrone who checks in, Mike. Of course, Tim Shanahan and the Dolphins sensing that Manhattanville's looking to pound things inside. You put in your biggest player, Perrone.
Kelly's pass is knocked away, but she's able to regain possession. But this time her pass is going to be stolen away, and it's Passatoro with the basketball. Passatoro driving coast to coast, but misses the layup. Here comes Manhattanville coming right back. Kelly looking to drive in on Perrone. Kelly's shot is up, no good. McGuire grabs the rebound. Her putback is no good. And now it's Craig grabbing the ball for the Dolphins.
That was a nice defensive job by Perrone. She was 1 against 2 and is able to disrupt both shots.
Passatoro putting up the three-pointer and burying it.
Yeah, what a huge swing there as Passatoro scores her second three-pointer of the evening. She now has 14 points.
So the Dolphins open their lead back up to 9. Is now Cray able to come in and trip the ball from McGuire. Cray driving all the way down the lane, and her shot is up, no good. The putback is up, no good. But once again, Cray comes away with the rebound, and she'll back the ball out.
get the feeling, Mike, that the Dolphins are just a little bit faster right now than Manhattanville, and the Valiants caught a little flat-footed here these last few minutes.
Cray kicking the ball in the corner now to Flecker. Flecker back up over to Perone, but it goes off her hands and out of bounds, and the Dolphins will give the ball away with the turnover. But first we'll have a 30-second timeout taken by Tim Shanahan and the Dolphins. So an interesting 3 minutes, Dave, to start the third quarter.
Yeah, very herky-jerky, back and forth. The Dolphins had a 10-point lead at the half. The Valiants scored the first 5 points of the quarter. And since then, the Dolphins have responded well and have been able to get themselves back in the lead. And if not, Mike, for 2 turnovers, they've been shooting the ball very, very well here in the second quarter. And second half. So.
And, you know, Dave, you mentioned earlier that the Dolphins are getting very limited points from the bench. And, you know, this was a Dolphin team, Dave, that struggled a little bit with depth to begin with. And to have Price and Callie both out of the lineup, Dolphins have to be very happy to be up by 9 points at this point in the game.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, I know Bracic, you know, obviously is the starter, but now she's on the bench. But Rosa Perone has come in and done a solid job. And other than that, we've only seen really Elena DeMontro for a couple minutes. But other than that, it's really been these starters here on the floor that have been doing the work. So
Manhattanville turning the ball over for the third time here in the second half. As it's Flecker with the basketball, she feeds it inside to Cray, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul call before the shot. And it's going to be either on Kelly or Donnell, and it's going to be the fourth on one of them, and I believe it's going to be on Kelly, and that's going to be her fourth. That's a huge foul, Dave, for Manhattanville.
Yeah, and you can see she leaves the court very dejected here. Kelly 2 for 8 from the floor. She was 1 for 2 in this half, but now she has to once again sit back down.
Yeah, and she's going to be out for a while now as she picks up that early fourth personal after playing just 3 minutes here in this third quarter. So Dolphins catch a little bit of a break, and now they will get to inbound the ball once again with 25 seconds remaining here on the shot clock, and the Dolphins holding on to a 9-point lead. Cray lobbing the ball up over to Passatoro. Passatoro with a back to the basket, now backs it out behind the three-point line. 15 seconds to shoot here for the Dolphins as they're running a very deliberate offense here, Dave. Usually not the kind of offense that Coach Tim Shanahan runs. Is that long three-pointer is up no good as the rebound is tipped around out of bounds, and it will be Valiant basketball.
I think the Valiants caught a break there, Mike. That looked like it was going to get punched out by the Valiants. Instead, the ball goes their way, so a nice break that time for Manhattanville.
So the Valiants with the basketball as Coles brings the ball up over the midcourt line. And now Cray there waiting to pick her up. Now it's D'Ocio with the basketball. D'Ocio lobbing it back to Cole. She looks to feed the ball inside, and that time the shot by McGuire is up no good, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds. It will remain Valiant basketball with 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. The Valiants inbound the basketball as they feed the ball out now to Osita. Now the ball worked in the corner. The long jumper is up no good. A fight for the rebound, and this time Perone's going to be fouled. And I believe that's going to be on Donnell, Dave, and that's going to be her fourth.
Yeah, this is turning into a real nightmare here for the Valiants. They got themselves a few quick points here to start the second half. They got themselves back into the thick of it, and now they have to take their 2 biggest players out of the game again, and they're not catching many breaks.
So Caballero will check into the game for the Valiants as Donnell goes to the bench with Kelly with 4 personal fouls here early in the third quarter. Cray with the basketball up over to Passatoro. She feeds the ball out over to Flecker. Flecker getting the ball back up over to Passatoro as the Dolphins now inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock once again. Cray trying to drive her way inside. Her shot is blocked away by Caballero. And here comes Coles with the basketball, but a careless pass is stolen away by Passatoro, who wisely backs the ball out for the Dolphins. Interesting, Dave, the way the Dolphins are playing offensively tonight. Very content on running the shot clock much deeper than they usually do.
Yeah, Mike, and I think that's a product of wanting to take advantage of the 2 Manhattanville players outside of the game, working possession and getting good quality shots, and that time a good one for Cray.
As Cray gives the Dolphins an 11-point lead, their largest lead of the night, 40-29. McGuire looking to work against Perone. She's tied up with Cray, and we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball, and the possession arrow will now go to the Dolphins. So Dolphins with an 11-point lead and a chance to make it more.
Yeah, and that'll be counted as Cray's 4th steal of the game as well. So she's really been right in the thick of it, Mike, and she generates another turnover.
So Cray with the basketball now for the Dolphins, working on Coles, and Coles is going to draw the foul about 30 feet from the basket. Very soft foul that time on Coles. She didn't like the call. I can't say I blame her, Dave.
Sure.
As the Valiants pick up their 3rd team foul.
Yeah, you could tell just from the body language of the Manhattanville coaching staff as well that they're getting pretty tired of this, Mike. They've been whistled for 17 fouls in this game. The Dolphins have only been whistled for 6.
Boy, Passatoro with the ball. Now it's Cray with the basketball for the Dolphins. Dolphins doing a nice job running deliberate offensive sets here tonight, taking time off the shot clock and reducing the number of possessions with the lead as Cray puts up the three-pointer and buries it. So Cray didn't have a basket in the first half. She's got 3 here in the second. And the Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game, it's 43-29, and head coach Kate Velakis has seen enough, and she's going to take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout, so why don't we step aside and take a break. We have 4 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Dolphins lead 43-29 as you're watching women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
We're back with 4 minutes remaining here in this 3rd quarter. The Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game. It's 43-29. And, you know, Dave, you look at this Manhattanville team. They came into tonight's game shooting just 35% from the field. Their three-point shooting is almost non-existent. They've only hit 9 three-pointers the entire season. They're 0 for 5 from the three-point line here tonight. And, you know, they really have struggled offensively.
Yeah, you know what? We knew going in that if this game was going to be won by Manhattanville, we were going to see a very low-scoring game, very methodical defensive game. And, you know, it's not to say that the Dolphins have been lighting it up, but they've been scoring points in stretches or in bunches, and they've been able to keep Manhattanville at bay. And combine that with the foul trouble that the Valiants find themselves in, they're down by 14 and losing grip of this game pretty quickly.
So the Dolphins will pick up a foul. That will be a foul on Perone as Rosa picks up her 3rd foul, and Caballero goes to the free throw line. She hits the first free throw. She came in shooting 59% from the line as she misses the second, and Passatoro grabs the rebound for the Dolphins, and she'll be fouled now in the backcourt.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Mike, I know the Valiants have themselves a trio of seniors, including Sarah Kelly, who we saw get into foul trouble. But otherwise, they're a pretty young team in their own right. You just saw Caballero at the line. She's only a freshman, a 6-foot freshman at that. So this Manhattanville team also just really figuring itself out and finding itself as well.
So Cray with the basketball now for the Dolphins, guarded out by Coles. Now she'll feed the ball up over to Mbessi. Mbessi working her way inside. Now it's Passatoro as the shot clock down to 5. Passatoro drive it across the lane. She turns, puts up the three-pointer, and buries it. Big shot that time by Christina Passatoro.
Yeah, she's on some run, Mike. She's got 5 straight games with 20 or more points. She now has 17 in this game, and she's hit a couple of wild three-point shots.
So the Dolphins now with their biggest lead of the game, it's up to 16. Diosio feeding it over to McGuire. Now the Valiants try to get the ball inside, and they do, and they lay it up and in as Caballero lays it up and in.
That was a gorgeous move. She just sidestepped Perone got herself an easy layup out of it. Nice job by Caballero.
Now Cole's coming right back. She looks to feed the ball inside, but Perone is there to steal it away and feed the ball out over to Flecker. Flecker with a burst of speed. She drives down the lane and lays it up and in.
Yeah, nice, confident drive to the basket and put up by Flecker. Nice job by Samantha.
Oh, there was another turnover now as Manhattanville really struggling with the turnovers, Dave. That's their 6th one here in the third quarter, 21 on the game here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely right, Mike. And that's not going to win you many games as CSI will enter Visagia Watson taking the place of Mbesi. Watson only played 3 minutes of the first half.
And the Dolphins now with a 16-point lead, Dave, may give head coach Tim Shanahan a couple of options as we head towards the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's really only DeMontro who's on the bench, who really hasn't gotten in. Chanel Alvarez is there too.
Cray with the basketball, feeds the ball out over to Watson. Watson backs the ball out as now the Dolphins feed the ball up over to Passatoro. And Dave, Dolphins have scored 13 points already here this quarter and really have slowed the tempo down. As now Passatoro with 5 as she puts up the long shot. It's no good. And the rebound controlled by Diosio. Diosio looking to work her way inside. She jumps up in the air, and a foul is called on the play.
And that's the thing, Mike, when you're playing a team that only averages in the 50s and then you're taking away the entire shot clock in a game where you're up by 16, you know, you're really, you know, you're making the game essentially shorter and shorter and giving Manhattanville a smaller and smaller window of opportunity to get back in the game. As
the ball is inbounded, as McGuire will hand the ball off, and now Coles will have the basketball with 25 seconds to shoot. Manhattanville trying to force the ball inside. They work it out now for the long three-pointer. That's up, no good. And Flecker controls the rebound. Here come the Dolphins, 3-on-1. Passatoro to Flecker, to Passatoro to Flecker, who lays it in.
Yeah, they were in perfect harmony, Mike. They knew exactly what they wanted to do from the minute they set out. They had Visagia Watson trailing as well. Nice job by the Dolphins to finish.
As that time, we're going to have a whistle and a charging foul called. I believe that's going to be against McGuire. It is, and that will be her third. And Dolphins now with an 18-point lead, starting to take control of this game a little bit, Dave.
Yeah, that was a tough call on Kaylee McGuire. I know she was a little bit out of sorts and maybe out of control a little bit, but she didn't look to make too much contact there on the charge. In any event, the Dolphins here a chance to go up by 20 on this possession with 1 minute to go in the third, taking complete control of this one, Mike.
Cray. Now it's Passatoro with the basketballs. We're inside a minute remaining. Passatoro driving her way inside. Her shot is up, no good, but she'll draw a foul.
And Mike, I know I'm going to jinx it, but Passatoro 6 for 6 from the free throw line coming in. I mean, she's had her struggles here from the line, but she's been shooting it really well. And again, Mike, this is one of the comments we made at halftime. Dolphins doing a good job of getting to the free throw line and then making their shots once they're there. And now Chrissy 7 for 7.
So she now has 18 points for the Dolphins. And, you know, Dave, the Dolphins had come in and they had won, I believe it was 5 in a row before dropping that game to William Patterson. And, you know, it was a game they struggled in really from the beginning. And the Pioneers got out to a big lead in that one and led double digits after the first quarter. Really the kind of night that the Dolphins were kind of hoping for a little bit, Dave, as they get ready to really get the conference schedule underway in earnest.
And to me, that's really been the story of the Dolphins season, Mike, is how they start games. In their game against Wagner, do you remember they started well, but then they fell behind by 14 at the half, and they played very well in the second half. Against NYU, they fell behind huge early in the first quarter, played the rest of the game pretty even, and then against William Patterson, they fell behind very, very big, very early, and they played the rest of the game pretty well, ended up losing by 15. But here in this game, and in many games like it, they've started out strong, and now they're finishing strong, Mike.
So with 4.9 seconds remaining, Decker is able to lay it up and in. It looked like she might have traveled before the shot, but she'll go to the free throw line with an opportunity to try to get the Valiants back into this game a little bit as they trail now by 20, 54-34, as the shot will be up and no good, and now we're going to have a lane violation, and I'm not sure I quite understand that, Dave, because Perot went in the lane, backed out. There was no shot up. Then she took the
Well,
shot.
She's only allowed to go in upon the release. That's why. So even if you go in, Mike, as long as she goes in before the release, it's a lane violation.
So the free throw will be tried once again by Deca. She hits it, and Manhattanville still with a little bit of life as the ball is fed inside to Watson, who lays it up and in, and that's really not a good job by the Valiants on defense. And the Dolphins are going to go into the start of the fourth quarter with a 56-35 lead. So while we step aside and take a break, as you're watching women's basketball coverage exclusively on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
We're back as the Dolphins lead this one by 21, 56-35, and the Dolphins riding a 23-12 wave in that fourth quarter. And Dave, the Dolphins trail 22-20 in this one, and they've gone really on a 36-13 run since that time to really flip this game around and blow it open a little bit.
And again, it's going to be at this point, if you're Manhattanville, you just want to finish strong, give yourself something to look forward to. But again, Mike, in the start of the second quarter and the start of the third quarter, the Valiants actually started the quarters pretty strong. It's just been that the Dolphins have been able to get turnovers, and they've been able to turn turnovers into points. That's been the story, Mike. 22-7 advantage in points off turnovers so far.
As Manhattanville will have the first possession here in the second half, as the outside jumper and the first three-pointer of the night for the Valiants is good.
Another good start here in another quarter for Manhattanville.
So Deca gets a three-point shot after having a three-point play. So she picks up 6 quick points, and, still 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Let's see what Manhattanville can do here. Deca with the basketball. Her baseline jumper is way off, but McGuire is there to grab the rebound. Diosio in the lane, and a floater is up and in. And Dave, once again, like you say, Valiants start out the quarter strong.
Yeah, and a lot of hop in their step. Good defense here.
As Flecker, though, with the answer, and that's a big answer, Dave, for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and Flecker's hit a bunch of those this year where teams are making a run, and Flecker's been able to stop it with a big open look three. Nice jumper there for Samantha.
Yeah, and Manhattanville had been down by as many as 22, had cut it down to 16, and had a little bit of momentum there. But a big three-pointer by Flecker, and that opens the Dolphin lead back up to 19 as there's a lot of contact on the inside that time as the shot is up, no good by Milazzo. And here comes Passatoro. Passatoro drives down the lane. Her shot is up and no good. But once again, she'll draw the foul and go to the line.
Again, just a nice job by Christina Passatoro to get to the hoop, Mike, to draw contact and get herself another trip to the free throw line where she's been very effective. So nice job by the Dolphins.
As Passatoro's first free throw is up and in, Christina now 9 for 9 from the line.
Yeah, so now she has 20 points. She's added 7 assists and 5 rebounds. And she also has 4 steals, so Christina's having quite the game here for the Dolphins.
As that second free throw is up and in.
And Mike, 6 straight 20-plus point games for Christina. That's the longest streak of her career. And Mike, there is a scoring title that's going to be in serious jeopardy at the close of this season and into next year.
As Deca puts up the long three-pointer, that's up no good, and Diosio was there to grab the rebound for the Valiants. Coles feeding it inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul. That will be on Bracic, and that will be her third and the team's first. And, you know, one thing that the Dolphins have done very well tonight, Dave, is really stay out of foul trouble, especially early in the quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that has not been an issue at all for the team. And then when you mix in the fact that You know, Mike, they only shot 29% in the first half. They're shooting 10 of 17 in the second half, too. So the Dolphins have really gotten their shooting in order as well. They're now up over 40% for the game. As
Diosio hits the jumper, and Brittany now has 6 points for the Valiants, and the Dolphin lead is down to 19 as Passatoro puts up the long three-pointer. That's no good. And the long pass goes down to Decker. It gets over the head of Passatoro, who makes a nice play coming back and knocking that ball out of bounds.
So second block of the game as well, Mike. So big statistic box score night for Christina.
So the Valiants will get to inbound the basketball, and you know they're going to need to get points here in a hurry to get back in the game, as Cole's jump shot is up and in, and Valiant's coming out hot here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. They've hit their shots. I mean, they have a long way to go here, down by 17 with just over 7 to play, but slow and steady.
Cray with the basketball. Bounce pass goes out over to Passatoro. Passatoro out behind the three-point line, looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. Shot clock now inside 10. Bracic puts up the three-pointer. That's up no good. Cray does a nice job tipping the ball to Bracic. She misses the putback. Decker grabs the rebound, and here comes Diosio and the Valiants looking to cut into that Dolphin lead. Cole's feeding it inside, and McGuire lays it up and in.
Yeah, you know what? Manhattanville doing a nice job with both Darnell and Kelly out of the game. They've been doing well, still staying on, you know, to try and get to the inside. Now down by 15.
Cray with the basketball as she looks to set up the offense now, working against Coles. Cray with 13 on the shot clock. Cray tries to drive her way inside. Now she kicks the ball back out to Mbesi. Back up over to Cray, whose three-pointer is good. And Victoria struggled with her shooting in the first half, Dave. Second half, a whole different story.
The Dolphins are now 10 of 20 from downtown, Mike, at even 50%. That's some sensational shooting. 5 of 8 in this half.
So Cray now with 10 points here in this second half, and the Dolphin lead is back up to 18. Cole's pass is knocked away by Cray. Cray knocked down from behind by Diosio, and it'll be Manhattanville basketball.
Yeah, that was a tangle of the feet, Mike, and it was Victoria Cray's left ankle that got, you can see the brace she's wearing on her left leg, and then you have the ankle that time as Bracic will come out in place of Mbesi.
Bracic with a very strong game here for the Dolphins tonight. She has 11 points as Decker puts up that long three-pointer and buries it. And the lead is back down to 15 once again.
Yeah, Manhattanville will not go quietly, Mike, putting up a fight here and a couple more baskets, and they've gotten themselves right back in this game.
64-49, 15-point lead for the Dolphins. Flecker with the basketball, now hands the ball up over to Passatoro. Passatoro tries to drive her way inside, but she's knocked out of bounds, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on Manhattanville. That'll be on Diosio. That will be her third and the team's second. So Sarah Kelly's going to come back into the game with 4 fouls now for the Valiants as they're going to make a final push to try to get this game inside of double digits and put a little pressure on the Dolphins.
Yeah, and why not, Mike? You know, Kelly has only played in 14 minutes. She's been effective when she has been in the game, and she just has to be careful defensively, but otherwise she's been a very effective player.
Passatoro with the basketball for the Dolphins. Dolphins continuing to be willing to work the shot clock down as it's Cray with the basketball. Cray driving inside, got a little bit off balance. Her shot is knocked away, and here come the Valiants with a big offensive possession. Kelly, Diosio, back up over to Kelly. Kelly looking to drive her way into the baseline. She kicks it out to the three-point line to Decker. And we're going to have a whistle and a 3-second violation on the Valiants.
Yeah, I think that'll be on Caballero again. She's gotten caught in there a few times, well, actually twice, but occupying a lot of space there, and that time in Manhattanville, that's a good opportunity to slip away.
And that's just their first turnover here in the fourth quarter. They have 23 for the game, but that's a big one. And now the Dolphins with the basketball. Cray working it out over to Perrone. Perrone has the ball knocked away, but now she's going to get called.
Timeout.
Oh, actually, there'll be a timeout on the play for the CSI Dolphins. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, Dave, so let's keep it right here. Manhattanville outscoring the Dolphins so far here in the fourth quarter, Dave, 14-8.
Yeah, Mike, and this has been something that the Dolphins have been a victim of being outscored in the fourth quarter. It's not their best quarter, but at the same time, they did come in nursing a 21-point lead going into this quarter. Outscored by 6, they're still up by 15, and time is dwindling away here for Manhattanville. And but again, Mike, a couple of big baskets here. If Manhattanville can get it down to about 10 with 3 minutes left, we might be talking here, but it's going to take a huge run. And meanwhile, the Dolphins are still playing very strong, Mike, especially defensively.
And Dave, you look at the Dolphins, Flecker and Passatoro have not been on the bench here tonight. Cray has just been on the bench for 2 minutes, so a lot of minutes for the Dolphin starters.
Yep, they will be off, though, until next Wednesday, a week from tonight. They'll play Baruch College right here at the Sports and Rec Center.
Passatoro with 5 on the shot clock as she's able to drive it and lay it up and in, and that's a backbreaker, Dave, when you allow your opponent to take 30 seconds off the shot clock and get a layup.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you're in foul trouble, so you can't afford to foul in that situation. Otherwise, you're out of the game.
66-49. Big basket there for Passatoro. She now has 23 for the Dolphins. Kelly feeding the ball inside, but we're going to have a whistle and a travel. So Manhattanville did a nice job avoiding the turnovers, Dave, here in the fourth quarter. 2 big turnovers on their last possessions.
Yeah, and again, the Dolphins able to capitalize on that last possession. If they can capitalize on this one, they've effectively just put a ribbon on this one. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, and the Dolphins again doing a good job, even when Manhattanville is coming out at them, Dave, just running the shot clock down, running it down, really taking almost 25 seconds in every possession.
Yeah, and that's, obviously we saw that that's what the Dolphins wanted to do going into this half, and they've been very effective at it. And Mike, I think the biggest point to make is that not only have they been dwindling the shot clock, but they've also gotten baskets too, and that's even worse.
As Passatoro has the ball knocked away, the Dolphins turn the ball over, and now we're going to have a whistle. That should be a travel, and it is.
So that's now the 25th turnover of the game for Manhattanville. And like you said, Mike, they did a really good job, even in the third quarter, of protecting the basketball, and now 3 straight turnovers on 3 straight possessions.
And the Dolphins, who had 12 turnovers in that first half, just 5 turnovers here, Dave, in the second half. Passatoro with the basketball for the Dolphins is the game clock now down to 3:45 and just about heading into garbage time here, Dave, for the last 3.5 minutes.
Yep. Ooh.
Passatoro feeding it over to Perone. Perone's shot is going to be blocked away, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul.
And Samantha Flecker got tangled, Mike, in the lane as she was setting a pick. And she's kind of been a little gimpy out there. I don't think Tim Shanahan has seen it. Oh, and that's a foul out for number 21.
So that's going to be McGuire, who fouls out of the game here for the Valiants, and Perone will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Flecker's still on the side there, kind of stretching out that right ankle. She looks to be okay, Mike, but in a game where you're up by 17 with 3.5 minutes to go, I'm sure if Tim Shanahan has noticed, then Samantha would probably be out of the game at this point.
So Perone with 1 more free throw upcoming. Rose's second is up and in. So Perone splits the pair, and the Dolphins lead 67-49 with 3.5 minutes remaining. And the Valiants turn the ball over once again, Dave. So it looks like the Dolphins are going to up their record to 8-3.
Yep, 4th straight turnover for Manhattanville. This is all in the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So the Dolphins, again, just kind of taking a knee here at this point, not doing anything, as now we have a foul away from the ball. And it will be the Dolphins going to the free throw line here, Mike.
Yeah, and that's got to, just really make the hair on head coach Kate Velakis' head go gray, Dave, because you let the team run 19 seconds off the shot clock and then foul 20 feet from the basket, and, you could have done that with 30 seconds on the shot clock.
Sure. And I think the Manhattanville players were also noting that it was not a good foul call. It was away from the ball. It was outside the play, as we'll see Jess Nichols-La Rosa come in for the first time for the Valiants.
So Flecker will have 1 more free throw upcoming as she hits it, and the Dolphins open their lead back up to 20. And, You know, Dave, this is the kind of game that you really would like to have if you're head coach Tim Shanahan and the rest of his coaching staff as you get ready for an undefeated Baruch College team, undefeated in the conference, coming in. They haven't played the better teams in the conference yet, but still a big game coming up for the Dolphins.
Yeah, let's not forget, up until last year, Baruch had won 8 straight CUNY championships. So, you know, there is some pedigree there still, and the Dolphins will be tested. They always play hard. And, you know, but for the Dolphins, Mike, going into that one, we'd assume they're going to hang on here. They'll be 8-3 overall. And really, aside from a really tough, I would say, I don't want to say unexpected loss, but probably a loss in a game in which they were favored against William Patterson. This was a nice bounce-back game for them. We thought it could be a grinding one where the Dolphins would have to come up and play well late in order to win, but really they've been in cruise control since the midway point of the second quarter.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, this is a Manhattanville team that really was very stingy with the points. Teams really struggled to score against them here throughout the entire year, and you know, the Dolphins putting up 69 points against them, really playing well as now Cray's able to get the ball to the basket and lay it up and in as Dolphins continue to play well here in the second half.
Yeah, Victoria Cray having a big day, 16 points for her.
And the CSI Dolphins with a 71-50 lead as Cray will have one more free throw upcoming here. She'll have 2, I should say, and she hits the first, and the Dolphin lead is 72-50. As Watson will check into the game, and she'll replace Nicole and Bessie. And you know, and Bessie just scored a single point, Dave, but you know, she's really out there to play good defense, and she did play good defense here tonight.
Oh, and listen, she had big shoes to fill. You know, Angelique Price has been playing outstanding basketball, and you know, I think Nicole and Bessie's job was just to kind of hold things down, give the Dolphins good ball control. I think she did that tonight, stepped up in a big spot.
So we have 2:07 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Dolphins leading 72-50, so they're going to win this non-conference game here tonight, and you know, they're going to up their home record to 5-1, and you know, you like to see that too, Dave, is a team playing well on their home floor.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. You know, the Dolphins have been playing well here. They've shot the ball well here, so they've done well. And they're going to improve that home record, and they have another one upcoming next week. So everyone's important, but when you have home games here on your home floor that you think you have a shot of winning the game, you got to come up big and win them.
And, you know, with the Dolphins, with their injuries, they're looking for their pedigree player, Christina Passatore, to come up big, Dave, and she's really been doing that. As you mentioned, 6 games in a row, 20 points or more.
Yeah, and you know what, Mike, I think she's definitely our player of the game, but another player who did just outstanding here tonight is Victoria Cray. Obviously in a bigger role that now that Price is on the bench. Her season high was 18 points, and tonight, I think she's on the bench now, but tonight I think she has 16, so 2 short of her season high.
And of those 16 points, Dave, 12 of them here in the second half, as she didn't hit a shot from the field in the first half, but came up with a couple of big 3-pointers and a couple of big baskets as a and DeMontreux was there to pick the ball up for the Dolphins and feed it up over. That time the Dolphins ran 25 seconds off the shot clock before the foul is committed, and now Watson will go to the free throw line, and will have an opportunity to add to this Dolphin lead.
Yeah, Watson, 2 of the Dolphins' 3 bench points tonight, and she adds her 3rd point to give the Dolphins a commanding lead. 73-51. I think that's their biggest lead, Mike, 22 points.
And that matches their biggest lead. And, you know, we should also mention, you know, for one last time, tomorrow night, Tournament of Heroes, opening game at 5:30. And really, Dave, that's going to be one of the better basketball games that you'll see here at the Sports and Recreation Center.
I'll tell you what, Mike, and I think national organizations like D3 Hoops and Hero Sports, I think they will agree. The Tournament of Heroes that starts tomorrow is probably one of the better men's basketball tournaments in the entire country, Mike. You got one team that's nationally ranked, another that's on the fringes, a Staten Island team and a Bridgewater team that are just playing very good basketball, and it should be a lot of fun. Tomorrow it starts at 5:30. The Dolphins play at 7:30. There'll be a presentation in between games to honor fallen heroes from 9/11. That'll be a subtext to the entire couple of days here, and then we'll have the consolation and championship on Friday night. So tremendous basketball, 4 great teams. We're expecting some big things. You and Mike Cohen will be covering it all right here on CSI Sports Net.
Yeah, and this is if you want to come out for just one men's basketball game or a couple of men's basketball game, the Tournament of Heroes is the game that you really want to come out and see. It's it's a great event. It's for a great cause. It honors some great former CSI Dolphin players and really features some of the best college basketball that you're going to see in the Division III division. So really a great opportunity. And 5:15 the pregame show if you can't make it, but we hope to see as many of you out here as possible for the Tournament of Heroes tomorrow night. As we're inside of 15 seconds remaining, the Dolphins lead by 20, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. So that will lead to free throws here for Manhattanville. Women's basketball team back in action, as we mentioned, next Wednesday night against Baruch College. Doubleheader action, 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. We'll have those games for you right here on CSI Sportsnet. But a good way for the women, Dave, to end the 2016 calendar year.
Absolutely, Mike. That was going to be the next thing I was going to say. Was the Dolphins really? This is their last game of the year, and then they'll start 2017. On the foundations of a big win against Manhattanville, a very nice 8-3 record, Mike, and the CUNY tournament and the championship in sights. Nice job by the Dolphins tonight.
Yeah, nice job. 40 minutes of action for Christina Passatoro and Samantha Flecker. They come out, they play well. Passatoro finishing the game with 23, 17 for Flecker. And Nahada Bracic did a nice job with 11 points, including, Dave, 2 big three-pointers at the start of the second half when Manhattanville was trying to make a little bit of a run.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed it. The Dolphins, every time Manhattanville had an answer, CSI had one in return.
So as we are going to be joined here by Victoria Cray as the Dolphins coming off of a big win here tonight. First of all, Victoria, congratulations on your big win here tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
The team came in and you were a little short on the injury side. Angelique Price out tonight, Jackie Callie out tonight, but the team really came out and played well against a very strong defensive Manhattanville team.
Yeah, we spoke before the game. We knew Ange and Jack were sitting out, and they're a big part of our team, so the girls knew that this was their night to step up, and everyone did their job. They came out and played defense and boxed out.
Yeah, and Victoria, you played 36 minutes in this game. Samantha and Christina played all 40, so a lot of minutes here tonight. How do you feel? You a little tired after all that work?
Definitely tired, definitely tired. They're a very tough, strong team, and